Hi Teela Jammers, how are you doing? So, today's subject is it's not what you know, it's who. And we're kind of going to go into knowing where you place yourself in terms of, social circles and such. Now, if you have done anything in regards to network marketing or marketing in general, you will know that the basis of all of this is knowing your target audience. So if you're into business, then once you have, your set product or your service, it's about knowing, okay, who's the target audience? Who are we getting at here? Who is going to, who do we need to reach? Kind of thing. So yeah, placing yourself in the right circles. So in terms of that example, when it comes to business, it's about knowing where to market your service or your product. It's about saying, okay, how can we market this effectively? And also placing ourselves at the right time. I would say with many marketing strategies, it's not just putting something out there. It's about, putting a strategy in place and saying, okay, I'm going to do this then, and then this later. We'll do our research here, and we'll put out our product there. And, taking it as you go and going through the motions of seeing results. It's not just, okay, we're putting this thing out there. Marketing is pretty much about results. So if you find that your results are lacking or they're slacking, then it's about reviewing your strategy, reviewing what are we missing here, kind of thing. So again, when I ask that question of are you putting yourself in the right places, the subject area that I just touched upon is pretty much the area to go into. It's about, pushing yourself into, the right target audience, the right area of marketing, and having a strategy that works. And if it doesn't work, it's about reviewing it and seeing where you can go from there. Now, in terms of yourself, in terms of personal development, whether you're someone that is a creative, whether you're someone that is just kind of doing a solo journey, you've cut yourself off from family and you're trying to just focus on yourself, whether you are doing a family-led thing, so you're in a relationship and your husband or your wife, you're going to therapy together. It's about saying to yourselves, who are the right people that can help? Who are the right people that can support? So one thing I actually learned from my previous job, I've been out of work for a while. In my previous job, as a African woman, and I say African because even though I was born in Britain, I say that's my roots. That's where I'm from. My mum and dad are from. But now as a British citizen, living in London, I feel it's important to have representation. And sometimes we can go to the white people and we can ask for support, but they just don't get it. And there's a reason why they don't get it. We've all been through different things throughout our history, throughout our cultures, and I think sometimes with representation it has to be authentic. We cannot do this thing where we kind of oh yeah, I'm saying this as a white person, oh yeah, I've got friends that are black people, or my so and so is black, or I've been to Africa. Okay, you've been there, but the experience that you're getting is fairly different, from actually, being of that descent. And, maybe I might get, this video might not reach you today, but if it is, then, I'm still, standing my ground. But when we show ourselves in that way, like matching people by relating to them and being sympathetic to them, it doesn't always help the cause. If you think about cause and effect, it's saying like, okay, this is because of this. And that doesn't always work when it comes to personal development. It's trauma is quite a complex issue. Emotional, health, mental health is very complex, and we can look at different areas. I can go into so many different things, that I've kind of learned, that I'm learning on my journey. But the realest part is knowing who gets me, who can I speak to and they'll understand my flow. They'll get it right away. Like, it will be a snap kind of, yeah, I see where you're heading with this. And we all have the ability to do that. But I feel like when it comes to being on a personal journey, looking within yourself, it's about knowing for yourself, who can I reach out to that truly understands me in an authentic way, not just sympathizing for the sake of, yeah, I understand you, I get you, okay. It's about, I empathize with you, I've been there, and look at my situation. So it's pretty simple in terms of that. It's pretty simple. And I'll go back to my example of being in my old job. I was actually leaving to have my second baby. And we were in the process of developing a program to understand, well, not a program, it was pretty much an initiative to understand more about the African community, the African diaspora, and in terms of counselling. Why do Black people not seek out counselling? And many revelations come up. There was revelations around, what social services usually do, with Black families. There was revelations around people feeling like I just expressed, there was lack of understanding, lack of, representation, so people just wouldn't feel like they're understood. And so when you think of these elements kind of bridging why people are not accessing services, it really gets you thinking, how can we bridge that gap? Now, I don't know where the project went in the end, but this aspect, this title, this topic, kind of got me thinking. It isn't about what you know. You could train as a doctor, and meet clients, and we've seen a big jump in representation. I mean, we have plasters that are, skin type, have the same skin type as us. We have more representation in books and in medicine. You're not just seeing Caucasian people being reflected in medicine, how scars look or how different diseases look. There's a whole list of things that are happening now that are showing people that they are being seen and heard. So again, it is not about what you know. You can be trained and you can be convinced that you understand everything, but the basis of it is we are all different. And we cannot keep on saying, oh, equality, when we're not showing more representation. So it really is about who you know. It's really about getting to the bottom of it, getting to the root of it, and seeing it through representation. So I would really urge you to think about, in this aspect of things, really urge you to think about yourself as a person. If we're thinking about it in terms of like a business, and I've talked about branding, how do you represent? If you go back to that video and watch it and think about who you are as a person, what do you represent? what kind of values do you carry for yourself? And then revisit that in a way that says, okay, this is me and I'm my own target audience, and I just need to find, the things that represent me, and the people that can support me too. And it might not all look all fun and daisy, like it's going to take work, but you will get there. So I'm going to love you and leave you for now. And it would be lovely to hear your journeys. But yeah, choose what you love and love what you choose.